How's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. I'm going to be going over my week of operating a semi-truck in the United States for a 7-day or less period. This is mostly refrigerated freight. I am leased onto an 80-20 split carrier. I get the 80% for my business. They take 20% for their business. I do not go over the carrier I'm leased to. So if you want similar numbers as these, you'll just have to do research and find you a good carrier in your area, and that's kind of where it goes from there. So this week is from September, 2024. So I'm about 2 to 3 months behind. I will be skipping some of these in the future, probably about a month. Probably just skip a whole block of months, and just to get me caught up. I'm going to be trying to pump out a few more extra. They're going to be a little bit shorter videos, so I'm going to try to pump out more of them, but I don't think I'll ever get caught up from being 3 months behind. It's just I've been really busy this year. It's been more of a having to truck year than just do YouTube year, because YouTube money is down and trucking money is down, and I make the majority of my money from trucking. So that's what I have to focus on. I'm not skipping weeks to get out of doing bad weeks. Y'all have seen, if you've been watching this, I've been doing this almost 5 years now. I don't skip a bad week. I put it in there because I think everybody needs to know the reality of it. I don't want you to become an owner operator because of my numbers. You should only become an owner operator if you have a strong desire to become one. Because there are going to be days and weeks and months where you're like, is this worth it? Is this really worth it? And I want you to be able to make it through those times and get to the good times. So these are just numbers. They're not meant to hurt your feelings. They're not meant to depress you or excite you. It's just numbers. One man's opinion and operation is all this is. So with that being said, weekly recap, here we come. I did 3 loads this week. Normally I like to go Minnesota out and back. This week, way different. Way different. Went to an area I never go to and did things that I normally don't do. But it all worked out in the end. So this was still from the warm months of the year. So I went Minnesota to Colorado. We've got a new customer in Minnesota, and I've done 2 of these Colorado runs, and then they got an Alabama, Minnesota to Alabama as well. I did 1 of those. They're nice runs, but it's like a million different POs and a million different products on the trailer, and it takes about 6 to 8 hours on the unload. That's the only bummer. They did pay me detention on the last Alabama one, but both of these Colorados I've done, neither one of them paid 1 cent of detention, and I turned it in and everything. It just, I checked in on it like a couple weeks later, just never happened. So I don't know. I can deal with that because the loading is so good and efficient. You literally show up, they give you the paperwork right there. They're like, here's your paperwork, go sit in your truck. When you get a green light, you're good to go. And I'm like, yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. About 30 minutes to load on that Minnesota to Colorado. They load it, you green light you're gone because you've already got your paperwork. It's a dry load. Basically, it's like a window. They don't want it below 40 degrees. They don't want it above 70 degrees. So at that time of year, that was a dry load, basically. I mean, I think I had the reefer set to like 50, but it didn't kick on for like a whole day at one point. It was like 50 degrees outside, and I'm like, I just leave it at 50. So that's a dry load, 15,000 pounds, 27 empty miles to go get that, 957 loaded miles for a total of 984, just under 1,000 miles. And that pays $2,975 out to Colorado. Like I say, normally I don't go to Colorado. That's a little far west for my liking. And coming out of Colorado, see, here's the thing. The first time I did this load and went to Colorado, I got a multi-stop out of Colorado that paid damn good money, like to Georgia. So I got good money to go to Colorado. I got good money to come out of Colorado. The problem was, went back to Colorado, could not get the multi-stop again. And that's why I didn't go back to Colorado, because it's one of those things. If you can get good money going in and you can get good money coming out, you've solved the trucking mathematical equation. That's it. Money going in, money coming out. This time, not so much on the money coming out. So nothing in Colorado. Got unloaded late. This was unloaded late on a Friday. The multi-stop needs to be picked up before noon on Friday. So I know that now. So anytime I'm going to do these in the future, I need the Colorado appointment time to be like 4 in the morning or no later than 6 in the morning to be able to get to that multi-stop around noon. They will work with me a little bit on the multi-stop, but getting unloaded Friday night, they were not willing to load it Saturday morning, because there's really no way I could have made it Saturday morning to the first stop Monday morning. It was like 1,500 miles away. I couldn't have done it. Super truckers on the internet, maybe, you know, them old guys that they got their phone in a harness down here, like a holster, and they talk like this. They talk like they've smoked 50 million Marlboros in 3 days. Those guys, they could probably do it. Me, I can't. I'm soft. I don't wear gloves when I truck. Hell, I got shoes on my feet. I very rarely put my foot up on the dash. It just ain't cut out for this, I guess. So anyway, nothing in Colorado, especially I needed something that loaded on a Saturday. Now, there were some options to sit around all weekend, well, from like Friday night, Saturday morning till Monday. I said, no, that's not how I truck. Find me something. I don't care if I got to drive 300 or 400 miles to go get it. Let's make some revenue versus no revenue. You know, I'm a revenue guy. Generate it. And that usually solves most of your business problems, you know. If you got 99 problems, revenue's probably one of them. Get it up. You know what I mean? Uh, give your revenue some Viagra or whatever. Anyway, so there was nothing in Colorado. I drove all the way to, no, there was nothing in Denver. I drove way outside of Denver. I was still in Colorado. Went and got a load of potatoes over there. 245 deadhead miles to go get the taters, which was 245 empty, 704 loaded. So the load didn't pay horrible. It was $1,700 on 704 loaded miles. I took all the piss out of it by deadheading 245 miles to go get it. But it's still, in my opinion, it's better to generate some revenue. And that's not even like cheap freight, you know. I don't think out of Colorado, if you can get over $2 a mile out of Colorado, I feel like you're doing pretty good. And that was like, you know, 240 a mile out of Colorado. Not as good once you put 245 deadhead on it, but that's not the broker's responsibility. You know what I mean? So we took it. I said, grab it up, 50 degrees, 41,000 pounds. They did have a scale on site, which was nice. I didn't have to scale it, just bing, bam, boom. That load was Colorado to Illinois. I forgot to write that down. Colorado to Missouri, the Illinois side of Missouri. And then, so that was that load. And then come down out of Missouri. Instead, I wanted to come back home after that, but they called me with this other load that was pretty good. And I said, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. It was Illinois to Virginia. And that was right down the road. 16 deadhead miles, 754 on the loaded miles, 770 total miles, and that load paid $27.50. So $27.50 on 754 loaded miles. Damn good rate as far as I'm concerned these days. It was a negative 10, 39,000 pounds. It paid good because it went to Virginia. And y'all know, like, I'm going to start my week off in Virginia next week. This is it for the week. So next week we'll start in Virginia. Probably be a bummer of a week. It is what it is. But that's the week right there. Minnesota to Colorado, Colorado to Missouri, Illinois to Virginia. All one pick, one drop. Not a lot of reefer fuel in the week, so we kind of made up on it here and there, and you know. But total gross revenue for the week, me and my carrier combined, made $7,425, $74.25. You take 80% of that, $59.40. That comes to my business, and that's what I have to do. It's what I have to pay the bills with. So 2703 all miles, 2703, 288 empty miles, pretty much all of that on that one load. 2,415 loaded miles, and that is 10.6% deadhead. Now, let's talk about rate per miles. 275 a mile, all miles, 220 a mile. My 80% is 220 a mile, and it was 307 a loaded mile. So there you go. Let's talk about variable costs for the week. I spent $12.97 on diesel. I spent $113 on reefer fuel. I spent $44 on DEF fluid. I spent $14 on a scale. I only scaled that very last load, and $0 on parking, and $8 on Kansas tolls, for a total variable cost of $14.76. Yes, $14.76. Bring over my $5,940. Subtract out the $14.76 variable cost, and that leaves me $4,464 left to do what I have to do with. So there you go. That's the week. $4,464 left to do what I have to do with. And that's been a weekly recap, folks. If you like it, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button for me if you could, and take care of each other out there. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Love's? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back. They'll take all your information, and you'll be in the network. How important is Wi-Fi? Very important. That's why I use Nomad Internet in my truck. Yes, sir. This is a Wi-Fi modem that you put in your truck. Check them out. Links below. This thing gets signal when my phone will not. So if you're ever stuck at that truck stop with no signal, you'll wish you had some Nomad in your truck.